What's up? What's up? Skakel in the house. Earl Skakel in the house. I hope you guys are well. We'll just do a little baby stream on the internet. Buddhist priests in the house. It's good to see some familiar faces in the stream. Early to fend off the dastardly trolls. Let's get the red filter on. Fuck yeah. AC/DC in the house. CC Motion in the house. Buddhist priest sending me a high five. Yes, I don't know what that does, Buddhist priest, but thank you anyway. Jenna from Montreal Les Habitants. Rudy Baga, Dabbleverse legend in the house. Dabbleverse chat room legend in the house. So Dabbleverse questions are on the table early. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Jeff Daba Nichols in the house. We got some old school and new school streamers coming by. I appreciate it. Welcome to the show. My beloved Pittsburgh Steelers won. Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Free Mason Rudolph. I believe Mason Rudolph was a 12 of 16 for 127 yards, 1 touchdown. My friend just got back from Montreal. I didn't even know Skankfest was this weekend, to be honest with you. That's how little I follow it. I had a good time when I did it. But for me personally, once was enough. I love Mark Messier. Every time I'm asked if you could have one player in their prime to start a franchise with, it's Mark Messier for me as well. But I don't even remember. I mean, I think I vaguely remember you saying that, Chris, but, I don't follow. What up, Earl? What up, Alexis? I went to the one in Brooklyn where we had a naked roast battle. I got on a couple stand-up shows at the Creek in the Cave. Met a lot of fans. So I had a good time. I just, I don't know. Once was enough for me. I don't do shout-outs in here, Alexis. Sorry. Well, D, that's a little personal, but, I'll let Chris... I will keep grinding, absolutely. Yes, take out Tom Myers, that son of a bitch. I like Tom Myers personally, but, not everyone can get along, Tripoli's awesome. Don't tell AC/DC what to do. I didn't get laid at the Skankfest. Well, actually, I did get laid at the Skankfest I went to. I was just coming out of a breakup and met a girl who was a fan, and we took care of business. Okay, cool, Buddhist priest. Thank you. I am going to watch the Kings versus Capitals. I'm interested to see how Adrian Kempe plays. He's got 10,600,000 reasons to have a good game today. And I want to see how Kemper does against his old team. You do Skankfest? I did. I don't know if it was I don't think it was the first Skankfest. I did I don't know, the one in Brooklyn, I think 2017, I want to say. Um, and let Chris, he'll volunteer whatever information he wants to. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. The naked roast battle, I was a judge with Ari Shafir and Bronston Jones. Great energy. We were in some loft. It probably had about 300 people in it. Great energy. I mean, some of the people I had to see naked was kind of disgusting, to be honest with you. But and the shows were good. You know, Creek and the Cave treated me well. I mean, Lewis, Christine, and Jay treated me well. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's really not a festival that's going to do anything for your career. It's kind of the anti-JFL festival. Like, there's no industry there at all, but it's fun. Um, so I think that, you know, from a comics perspective, it's a fun time. Um, you know, and absolutely, it's a fun time. Yeah, the fans are the best part, 100%. I can't agree with Chris any more than that. I mean, when I walked out to the patio of the Creaking Cave and my online presence, so this was maybe a year and a half after Roast Battle aired my season. I don't want to say I was mobbed by people, that's not true, but I was warmly received. So it was kind of cool to see what your fan base looks like. So absolutely, um, the fans were awesome. You know, 90% dudes, but you know, there's a couple girls here and there. What up, Battleship? Um, So, no, I'm saying I wasn't mobbed there, but like as soon as I walked into the patio, like a bunch of dudes, hey, you're Earl from blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, it was great. Would I do it again? I mean, would I fly to New York to do it? Probably not. But you know, if it was in LA, maybe. But you know, they don't ask me to do it anyway, so. I think, you know, I had a little bit of heat after Roast Battle, so they asked me that year to do it. And it was fun. I was back there with Hinchcliffe and a couple other people. Um, you know, would I go to New Orleans for it? No. It would be a financial loss for me. So, so you know, that's, you know, when I do the road, I got to make money or I don't go. Um, So, I mean, you know, and if I can come close to breaking even, I'll do it. But, you know, I'm not of the fame level where they would take care of me in the way I need to be taken care of. So, you know, they'll survive without me at Skankfest, and I'll certainly survive without Skankfest. Yeah, I've already done it long enough for the love of the game. So I do it for the love of the money at this point. Um, your opinion on Jake Paul? I mean, he's a brilliant businessman. I mean, you know, he fights people he knows he can beat. Thoughts on Kempe extension? I mean, I thought it was awesome. I mean, he's definitely the Kings' best offensive player. And, you know, Kopitar's not going to be there next year, so that's $11 million you save. I mean, they probably could have gotten him a little cheaper a few months ago for like $10 million. But, you know, when McDavid, you know, he signed for the same 12 and a half, you know, Kaprizov 17 and a half. And, you know, Kempe's in that level below those two, but he's close. So, you know, 10-5, 10-6, that's pretty fair. 11 million probably would have been fair as well. You could have just swapped out Kopitar's salary for him. But D times 2, you're just putting Jake Hudson. I'm not sure what that means. How did I end up on the Jesse Lee Peterson show? A fan reached out to me and said, hey, do you mind if I recommend you to this Jesse Lee Peterson show? I'm like, yeah, I'll do anyone's stream for the most part. So I said, yeah, hook it up. And I went on and had a good time. I haven't heard from him since. What up, Fungus? I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson, he's like a black Alex Stein. He's just a fucking troll. He's just trying to talk shit. And, I got much love for Jesse Lee Peterson. I was told by his producer, excuse me, when I finished the show, I was told no one's ever made Jesse laugh that much. Um, well, I mean, I think Jake Paul is, he's a brilliant businessman. Like he fights Ben Askren, who was a world-class MMA fighter, but not a good striker. And, I would have had a little more respect for Jake Paul if he said, okay, I'll fight you in an octagon first and you can wrestle. But, he does boxing matches with a wrestler. He's going to kill that guy because you're taking away Ben Askren's best skill. Same thing with Tyrone Woodley. He's a MMA wrestler. So he can't wrestle. So he has to box. And he wasn't even a good MMA striker. So a boxing striker, Jake Paul's better, to be honest. Dirty Deeds, done dirt cheap. Hit that like and subscribe button and join the conversation. And then he fights Nate Robinson, an NBA player. Never boxed before. And the Tyson thing, I'm not going to say it was rigged. I mean, I did think that Tyson in the first round looked pretty good. Now, granted, he's, fighting someone who's not really not that he's not a trained boxer, but he's fighting an amateur boxer at best. And it's almost like in the second round, there was a tie-up where Paul said something to Tyson. And I'm going to guess it was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And then all of a sudden after that, Tyson just turned into a shadow boxer. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's my whole point is a Cookie Monster. He fights guys he knows he can beat. It would be like, I don't know, this is not the best example, but since it's my stream, I'll say it. It'd be like if I roast battled someone in the stream who'd never done roast battle or comedy before. Well, how fair is that? What do I think of, Levi, your opinion on the current state of comedy? I mean, it's not very good, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, a big black in the house. What up, Selena girl? I mean, I don't want to say it was rigged, but go back and watch the first round of the Tyson-Paul fight. Tyson was dominated. And then, like I said, there was a clinch where you could see kind of Paul say something to Tyson, and I'll guess it was like, bro, this ain't what we agreed to. And then after that, Tyson was just shadow boxing like 6 feet away from Paul. So, I'm not sure what that meant. I mean, welcome from Turkey, baby. Brock Lesnar is the best combat sports star. I mean, I don't think he's the best combat sports star. I mean, Alistair Overeem knocked him out. Frank Mir submitted him, but he's certainly a fucking great sports star. But I don't think he's the greatest. I mean, John Jones in his prime was unbeatable. And the great thing about John Jones was, I mean, he might be a dick as a human or whatever, but he would beat you at what you're best at. Like he beat Dan Henderson at wrestling. He beat Daniel Cormier at wrestling. He beat Miocic at striking. That's the most impressive thing to me about John Jones. He beat Vitor Belfort in submission. He beat Lyoto Machida at his own game, that karate stuff. So, daily meditation, we don't do that in here. So why don't you go to Pat Dixon's stream? I had lunch with Bill Goldthorpe. He was a very, very tough guy. Your opinion on Gervonta Davis and his criminal history? I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. Did you? Oh my God! Did I watch the Wally George show? This is a hint. Did I watch the Wally George show? And the number to get tickets in the greater Garden Grove area, 999-5000. 999, 5,000. I literally would not go out until the Wally George show aired on KDOC, Channel 56. Um, Good to see. Now, Frank Mir got a little lucky because they stopped that fight because they said Lesnar hit him in the back of the head, which was a very questionable um, stoppage. But then, Mir submitted him. So Shane Carwin beat him. I was at that fight, the Shane Carwin fight. I believe it was in Vancouver. Um, I mean, I would put Jones ahead of St. Pierre. Do you think I could? No, Jake. I'm not a trained boxer. Jake Paul would kill me. I mean, as big and as tough as I think I am. I mean, I took boxing lessons from Mike Weaver's brothers, but I mean, Jake Paul probably outweighs me by 30 pounds. I don't know if he's roiding or not, and I'm also probably 25 years older than him. So no, I mean, Jake Paul would kill me. I mean, he's the biggest star in the world, Although, it just goes to prove, that the Mark Kerr Smashing Machine movie didn't do well at all because no one knows who the hell Mark Kerr is outside of, like, some of the people in this stream. Well, that's how you judge people is whether they win or lose. FA. Tommy Two-Tone just played the Whiskey a couple weeks ago. My brother hung out with Pauly Shore, ironically enough. Um, and now I know him. Big fan of Machida. Was bummed when he lost to Jones. Anderson Silva had those crazy long legs. The most weird bout. I mean, Holmes versus my boy Tex Cobb. I mean, Tex Cobb had a chin on him. But, Tex Cobb was just more than that fight. I mean, he was a very good boxer. He had the maybe the greatest chin of all time. But, he just, I mean, Larry Holmes was better. Like, um, there's definitely a strange fight. I mean, I don't know why it wasn't stopped, but I don't think Cobb was ever in danger. You know, yeah, I saw Liddell fight in that De La Hoya promotion. I remember I sat next to Moshe Kasher, and we were just like, "Fuck, this isn't good." Earl, have you heard the new David Lee Roth version of "Jenny, I Got Your Number" in Baker Street? No. My high school biology teacher went to school with Tex Cobb. I mean, Tex Cobb was very smart. I mean, he graduated full ride from Temple. It's not Harvard, but Temple's like a good school. You want to, you talk about who a good roaster is. Whether it's Greg Giraldo or whoever. Look up Tex Cobb roast Larry Holmes. That's a roast. Oh yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for. I mean, this is just a friendly stream. We don't really. I mean, we get some trolls in here from time to time, and that's just part of the internet. But I'm like the bartender. You guys are the patrons, and you guys ask questions. Sometimes I'll ask you guys questions. I don't know everything, and I don't want people to agree with me all the time. What up, Ultra? I'm gonna call you UC. Hail Earl. Just sounds like a Nazi. Just a guy. 1124. Hey Earl. What up? What up, everyone? We're just chilling right now on a early Monday morning show, and maybe we'll get the Yonder Wizard bump. Maybe we won't. Norse. What up? What up? No, I wasn't calling you a Nazi. I was just. Mayflower is the margarine of UFC. I don't know what that means, Mr. Hendrickson. I don't watch the UFC anymore. I watched one fight last night on the prelims. It was pretty good. That white girl who beat Angela Hill. Yeah, and, to finish, where would you rank Randy Couture? I mean, he's one of the all-time greats, especially given that he was a heavyweight and wasn't that big. I mean, it's... Could he beat Miocic and John Jones and, Overeem when Overeem was roiding, Ubereem, Dos Santos. I don't know. It's hard to compare different eras. But, he beat Tim Sylvia. So, it's, but, that fight against Lesnar, he was just overmatched. Did you ever know Dr. Eugene Landy's son, Evan? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Um, I'm not gonna lie with you, Bun B. I'm not familiar with him. I don't watch the UFC anymore. Um, John Jones doped. I don't know if he did, to be honest with you. Yeah, he was 47 when he fought Lesnar, I think. That's crazy to me. Because John Jones was never that muscular. I just think he was a genetic freak. What's your problem with me? El Dopo, I thought, well, I want you guys to get along. AC/DC and El Dopa. So El Dopa, I'm saying AC/DC is a good man. So UFC is done for me. Ironically enough, I used to order every pay-per-view when I could order it off of DirecTV on my big TV. I don't like watching UFC on my computer. So for whatever reason, you can't get UFC on DirecTV anymore. So I just stopped watching. And I was a heavyweight guy, so you know, John Jones failed multiple tests. Obviously, I don't follow it that much anymore, so like I'm just saying I don't know if he failed the test after he made the move to heavyweight. I could see him wanting to get bigger, clock in around 230, 240. So, I'll take you at your word. I don't know everything about the UFC. Okay, yeah, El Dopa, I want you. Anyone who knows who Wally George is okay in my book. Uh, well, here's the thing, El Dopa, you mentioned Wally George. Um, his first sidekick, David Kennedy, there's virtually nothing on him on the internet. I'll be amazed if anyone in this stream could find me any information on when David Kennedy died. He was Wally George's sidekick. That's rare when you can't find a person's death on the internet. No, he failed in his prime. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember that. But, I don't know why he would roid if he was 205. He clocked in, I think, off season at like 220, 225, maybe even 230. So I could see him maybe taking diuretics to lose weight to get to 205. But, hey, fuck it. Like I said, yeah, well, I do believe Wally Joyner was overrated. He certainly came into the league going, this is the next first baseman. This is the next great first baseman. See, that's what I love about this stream. We can talk about Wally George and Wally Joyner. No wonder I only have 20 people in here, but fuck it. No, I believe you, Michelle. I'm not saying I'm just being honest. I don't remember him failing drug tests. But I was a big heavyweight guy, like Bigfoot Silva and all those fucking animals. Yeah, I think El Dopa's a good guy, AC/DC. Are you asking me, Josh, if I think Bruno Sammartino would have been a good UFC fighter? He certainly had a great body. Short arms, very stout. My greatest what if game, question or whatever, is what if Ron Lyle wasn't in prison for 7.5 years for murder? He could have been one of the great heavyweights. Yeah, it probably would have been tough to submit. He didn't really have a neck, because he was so fucking big. Probably would have been slow. So if you're saying with some jujitsu training or some kind of mat training, could he beat, say, a Tank Abbott? Probably. A Don Fry, it'd be a good fight. Um, Dan Severin, that'd be a tough one. So, I mean, here's the problem with Fedor is I don't, listen, Fedor was my number one guy. But I'm going to be honest with you. He fought a lot of tomato cans. And, there's rumors that a lot of his fights in Pride were semi-fixed. Um, John Candy, yeah, John Candy would have been the Emmanuel Yarborough of his time. So, found David Kennedy. What site did you find that on, Jenna? Can you Instagram me that? I'm curious because he was so funny. He was like Wally Straight Man on the show. But Fedor, I mean, how would Fedor do against, say, John Jones? I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm not going to eat your ass, Michelle, but yeah, he definitely was out of control. Well, I mean, and I'm a Fedor guy. Like, he was my favorite. But, toward the end of his prime, he could barely beat a guy like Brett Rogers. I mean, Brett Rogers was literally working 4 months before his fight with Fedor. I think he was working at like a tire store. So that was my beginning of the end for Fedor. Yeah. Uh, so I don't, how would Fedor do? Like, if you put a prime Fedor against a prime John Jones, I think Fedor wasn't the most well-rounded guy. He had the big looping right. Um, he had Samba in his corner, but I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's like saying, how would Babe Ruth hit Randy Johnson? I don't know. Babe Ruth could get a ball on could get the bat on the ball if Randy Johnson was throwing it. So, you know, Fedor's my number one all time, but he had a lot of tomato cans on his card, like Jeff Monson. Remember that fight in Russia? He fought Jeff Monson, and Monson was like walking to the ring limping. I'm like, oh boy. Um, I mean, I was a big Gegard Mousasi guy. I wish he would have had a lot. I just loved his fighting style. Um, so, yes, Bruce Babyman Baum. I mean, we don't talk about Perry Caravello in here. I'm out of the Perry Caravello business. But I remember when Wally Joyner came into the Angels, it was like, this guy's the next great first baseman in the league. I mean, could hit, could field, and he never got past that level. No, I got what you were saying, Bunby. I mean, I was a Bellator guy. I went to a Bellator. My friend Keith Berry fought, I think it was Rousey's first fight in Strikeforce, or was it Strikeforce or Bellator? It was in San Diego in the sports arena. And, Rousey was just building her thing. And Keith was fighting someone on the main card. I think he got hit in the balls, so they had to call the fight. Talk about a guy who got a lot of pussy. Shout out to my boy Keith Berry. Um, he was a tough, tough dude. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a player that you would say is the modern day Wally Joyner. I don't know. I mean, he was unathletic but athletic at the same time. Oh, Rod Carrillo was awesome. I mean, the Angels had some great players. It's just that, Donnie Moore, Dave Henderson. If they go to the World Series, I would guess they would have won that World Series. I mean, they had a great fucking team. I mean, Donnie Moore was a great pitcher. He's just always remembered for that. You know, Bobby Grich, Doug DeCinces, Chili Davis. I mean, They had Dave Kingman briefly. They had my boy Dave Parker and Dave Winfield at the same time toward the end of their careers, unfortunately. Well, I think it's well because I mean, Michelle, you seem like you know what you're talking about. By the way, it's great to have a girl in here. As you can see, Michelle, there's a lot of dudes in here. You know, yeah, Kevin Randleman, man, one of the greats. But there's a huge difference between MMA striking and boxing striking. Tyrone Woodley is the perfect example of. Tyrone Woodley was a good MMA striker, but it's just different, in the boxing parlance. Um, the Devil's Time, fuck yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Angels had so many good players, Mike Witt, Burt Blyleven. I mean, they had Fred Lynn for a bit. Obviously Tim Salmon, Troy Percival. I don't know I mean, you think the last, for 6 years they had Otani and Mike Trout, and they couldn't even get in the fucking playoffs. You know, all right, homeboy, I don't know what the hell you're on, but I'll have what you're having. I mean, Islam's no joke, but I don't know a lot about him. I couldn't even tell you who the heavyweight champion is. I know, I love Tawny Katane so much. I miss her so much. It was awesome being on stage in the main room a few times, and Tawny would walk in the room, and it was like the whole world stopped. I mean, she just had a presence to her that even in her older age or whatever, it was like, who is this woman? And she would sit down, and the whole room would just stare at her. Yeah, Fred Lynn, nice career. I mean, Brian Downing, great. Of course, Brian Downing was the guy Dave Parker threw out at home plate in the '79 All-Star game. The Angels it's tough to be a fan, man. I mean, they get Mo Vaughn, he fucking cracks as soon as they get him. Pujols was good with the Angels, but not great. Probably didn't earn his salary. I mean, yeah, I mean, when you see some of the guys in the Hall of Fame, like Ted Simmons, like no offense, but how the hell did Ted Simmons get in before Dave Parker? I mean, Steve Garvey was one of the best of his era. I think Garvey's problem, if he has one, was he never put up like monster numbers. He was just consistent. So I would put him in the Hall of Fame personally. I mean, I don't really have. I mean, I've met Norm a few times, because I don't know where he lived when he was out here, but I'd bump into him at like Rite Aid or whatever. I remember right after he got fired from SNL, he was on the steps of CVS, and I'm like, I'm gonna make him feel better right now, and because I was a fan of Dirty Work, I was like, hey man, do you know if CVS has any ass wart cream? And he kind of laughed and didn't just said hello and went back to smoking. Uh, and then one night at the Comedy Store, he showed up about, I don't know, 1:45, 2 a.m. And he asked the girl, hey, can I go up? And he went on and killed. And there was maybe 3 people in the room, but little by little, all the waitresses and servers and the managers, we all just walked in there. And it was like watching a master class on comedy. It taught me that even if it's a small crowd, you can still kill. And by the end of his set, he probably did like 30 minutes. I'm not going to say the room was full, but it was pretty full. Not many comics could have done that. Did you fight these people, Michelle? I'm done. MMA is very spiritual and hard. I feel so bad no one knew he was sick. I have leukemia, and I couldn't imagine going through it alone. Well, first of all, I hope you beat your leukemia. I mean, I know it's a tough thing to beat, but if I can provide some entertainment for you, I'm very happy to do so. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people knew Norm was sick. I didn't, but I would have no reason to No, I mean, I'm sure Adam Egget knew because they were best friends. Maybe Sandler knew, I mean, my mom had about 45 forms of cancer. No one knew. She just kept it to herself and kind of became a recluse. Um, so, um, you know, yeah, laughter and weed, definitely. Probably take the weed first. I'm funnier when you take the weed first. Because if you don't, you just listen to me, you'll want to take the weed. Harley, where are you located? What area of the world are you in? Um, and good luck. Always come in here for a laugh or two. But you know what? I think boxers would get destroyed in an MMA fight. I mean, look at. I don't do links, Big Black. Um, Look at James Toney against Randy Couture. Now, to be honest with you, I thought James Toney would kill Couture because in my mind I thought, okay, Couture is going to move in for a double leg takedown, and Tony's going to time an uppercut and put Couture's head in the third section, and that did not happen. So, you know, I think though if you put prime Mike Tyson against a prime Fedor, but I would have him do two fights. First fight's in a boxing ring. Well, there's no MMA allowed. Tyson's probably going to kill that person, kill Fedor in a boxing match. But then you give Fedor a couple months off and go, okay, Tyson, he fought you on your turf. Now you're going to fight him in an MMA cage, and it's anything goes. MMA rules. So Mike Tyson versus Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp, I'm told, has a rule. He tells promoters now, you got me for 2 minutes, then I'm going home. I mean, I'm a heavyweight guy, so there's not a lot of. Are there any boxers that catch my eye? No, but I don't really follow boxing anymore, to be honest with you. Um, so I know. I mean, Garvey just, like, let me look up Steve Garvey's stats here. Sorry, I don't have a I don't have a all right, Steve Garvey's stats. Let's look at his stats. Okay. He had basically 2,600 hits. Not bad. 272 home runs. Batting average 294. Runs 1,143. A little over 1,300 RBIs. 83 stolen bases. A slugging percentage of 446. So let's see. Did he ever? Okay, so here we go. Most home runs he ever had in a season. 1977, he had 33 home runs. Never achieved that again. Most RBIs, same season, 115. So he had very good stats, not great stats. Now let's look at playoffs. So let's compare Steve Garvey to Dave Parker, who just got in to the Hall of Fame. Let's compare their stats. Same era. Um, well, you guys don't have to fight. You guys can disagree, and no fighting in here. Abby Feldman. Yes, unfortunately, I am single. Um, I love Detroit. All right. Oh, verify that I'm human. So since Dave Parker and Steve Garvey were from around the same era, okay. Here we go. I'm going to show you guys the screen here. So they played, interestingly enough, about the same amount of games. So Parker played in about 100 more games. So their hits, pretty even. Parker definitely had the edge in home runs, RBIs, stolen bases. Garvey slightly ahead in the batting average. On base percentage, pretty even. Slugging percentage, Parker had the slight edge. All right, let's go to awards. Dave Parker. 2 championships to Garvey's 1. Garvey the edge and All-Star. MVP, they both had an MVP. Batting titles, Parker had 2 batting titles. Garvey 1 more Golden Glove. Silver Slugger. So it's pretty even. I mean, you could definitely make the case. I mean, Parker had the slightly better stats overall, but he also played in about 114 more games. So pretty even. Yes, I do remember Cindy Garvey. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, there was an argument for Dave Parker to not be in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, he's definitely on the higher end of the bubble. Well, I think, I don't want to get in on your Bunby and Michelle. I don't want to get in on your argument. I think boxers and UFC fighters dope, or MMA fighters, not just UFC fighters. No, Steve Garvey. You're too young, SC. You probably don't know who Steve Garvey is, and I wouldn't blame you. So, I would absolutely, I mean, I'd put him in the Hall. I mean, at this point, the greatest players are all in the Hall of Fame. So, you got to kind of put, I think the Hall of Fame was created for the greatest of the great. Yeah, no problem. Is Steve Garvey one of the greatest first basemen of all time? No, but he's a good first baseman. He's a very good first baseman. So you got to kind of separate your feelings on, is the Hall of Fame for the best of the best? Or is it for the very good? 100%. I'm first ballot Hall of Famer in hog wrestling, especially for a white guy. But, that's what makes the stream great. We're just debating, Bunby and Michelle are debating. So, who's Marcus Garvey? I don't know. What sport did he play? I've never heard of him, to be honest with you. I mean, that did seem like some wonky reffing, and I have no skin in that game. Do you think that baseball player that gambled that just died, Pete Rose? I mean, that's a tough one. No, I'm not going to Google it. I can't look at some porno guy's big schlong. SC, I know you. That's a tough one. because the argument against putting him in the Hall of Fame is, did he bet against the Reds to lose? Now, what up, mama? Statistically, he should be in the Hall of Fame. But for what he did as a manager, okay, I trust USC. I'm going to look up Marcus Garvey. The big thing with he's a Jamaican-born black leader. Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican Garveyism. That interesting. So I got sidetracked with Marcus Garvey. So the thing with Pete Rose is, did he bet on the Reds to lose? But see, my thing is, now the Reds' best pitcher when Pete Rose was their manager was Tom Browning, this great left-hander, great control. So let's say the Reds and Dodgers are, the Reds are winning 2-1. It's the 9th inning, 8th inning. Let's say it's the 7th inning. And Browning's getting a little tired. But Rose doesn't trust the bullpen. So he leaves Tom Browning in for, say, 2 more innings than he should have. I think the Reds' bullpen around that time was Tom Hume and John Franco. So, interesting, AC/DC, very interesting. Yes, please hit the like and subscribe button. So let's say the Reds go on to win that game because Tom Browning was just unhittable. But here's the problem. In Tom Browning's next start, because he pitched 2 innings more than he should have, he's got dead arm and gets lit the fuck up. Well, that's directly responsible from Pete Rose, probably betting on the Reds to win that game against the Dodgers. And then they lose that game. The next game Browning was pitching because his arm was gassed out. That's a tough one, statistically, he should be in the Hall of Fame. You got Ty Cobb's races, Don Sutton, Dr. Baseballs, Gaylord Perry threw spitballs. And if you think that Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were the only guys roiding, they were the only guys who got caught. So, I'm from the belief that let everyone in. That's a tough one. Yeah, the Big Red Machine when I was a kid. Ken Griffey, Pete Rose, Cesar Geronimo, Dave Concepcion, Tony Perez, Ed Armbrister. Wow. What a team. And even the late 80s, early 90s Reds coached by John McNamara, Chris Sabo, Barry Larkin, Nick Asaski, Ron Gant. Remember Glenn Braggs, how fucking jacked that guy was? Wesley Snipes or Denzel. Wesley Snipes was pretty big in his prime. Denzel's probably was a little bigger, but that's close. That's like who got more pussy in their life, David Lee Roth or Vince Neil. It's close. Eric Davis. I'm trying to think. Buddy Bell, great third baseman, Buddy Bell. Ron Oster, There's like 2 generations of the Big Red Machine. John Franco, Tom Seaver, Mario Soto. They had some great, Norm Charlton, Rob Dibble. It was a great secondary version of the Big Red Machine. Well, I don't know. Vince Neil obviously has gotten tons of pussy, but when you think that David Lee Roth probably had a 3 to 5 year start on Vince Neil, it's close. David Lee Roth fucked so many girls he went to dick. That's when you fucked a lot of girls. To David Lee Roth, a hole is a hole is a hole. And I don't mean the Courtney Love band. Guys, we'll go about another 10 minutes. I don't think we'll be getting the Yonder Wizard bump tonight, but you know what? That's all right. This has been a good stream. No, yeah, I mean Charlie Sheen. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy for guys like us in this stream to think about women and fucking so many girls that you would go to dick. Like it seems impossible to have that mindset. But these guys got laid by thousands of women. And you could put a playmate in front of them and like, yeah, she's cute, but I already fucked, 200 girls who look like her. But that guy's a nice ass over there. Like, fuck that, man. But like, who knows? Well, I don't know if Michael Jackson was ever into girls. So, he probably like made out with Brooke Shields and like, this is gross. But that 8-year-old over there, message held for review. That story has not been proven. I mean, David Lee Roth probably did everything with a dong, and I mean everything. But that's because he had already done everything with a pussy about 5,000 times. But see, here's the problem with that, Michelle. Oh shit, Flat Cat Jessica in the house. Yo, 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 yo. We're talking about something that probably no one in this stream, myself included, will probably never ever attain. Like, for a non-celebrity, or whatever I am, I've done pretty well with girls. But I haven't done that well, where I'd look at a dude and go, I gotta hit that. And it's a mindset that, these celebrities and rock stars specifically find themselves in. I mean, David Lee Roth, Van Halen probably started getting popular in the LA, Pasadena area. 75. I disagree, AC/DC, because I think, obviously Dice did very well with women, but he did not do David Lee Roth numbers or Vince Neil numbers. So, when you fuck thousands of girls, you get bored. And to me, I'm like, okay, I've been with X amount of girls. I'm not bored of women yet. But when you consider, these guys are sexual depravity at its finest. The way the 80s guys treated women were just like they were a hole with a hair net. And at some point, they're bored. They fucked every playmate they wanted to. They fucked every supermodel they can. And that's a situation that probably none of us in this stream will be ever in that same situation. What about Magic Johnson? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he fucked hundreds of women, and after a while, he probably had a hard time getting off to a woman. Like, as crazy as that sounds. Did Gene Simmons ever go to cock then? I don't know, to be honest with you. If he did, you wouldn't know about it. Paul Stanley, most people think he is. So, yeah, I mean, Magic's son, he's an outlier. Well, Pat Patterson, I think, was born gay. He liked dudes. I think he probably fucked a few girls and was like, looked at a pussy and was like, ew. Flat Cat is back in the house. It's good to see you, Flat Cat. Someone told me Melton ran you off the internet. I didn't know what that meant. I don't believe he fucked 20,000 women. I mean, the numbers just don't add up. So, I look at, because I did the numbers one time. I was bored and I had a calculator. Hey, you said it. I didn't, brother. If you were fucked 20,000 women and, 20 years, it was something like you had to fuck 4 girls a day for like a solid 7 or 8 straight years. No man on earth can do that. I don't care how much Rhino 68 you're on. It's all good. Listen, there's life. Life gets in the way. What up, Gandalf? Well, it's different. Like if you sleep with one girl and then you start, fucking dudes, that's gay. But like, I'm very much of the opinion that and it's a very few people who can say this, but Mick Jagger, for example, how many girls do you think Mick Jagger's fucked? He's been getting pussy for literally 60 years, longer than I've been alive. So at some point he just kind of looked over at David Bowie, and even back then it was like, hey, fuck it. Um, and I'm sensing a problem with Frank and AC/DC. I don't know what it's about, but work it out, guys. Work it out. Bieber, I don't know. I don't know how much puss Justin Bieber gets. I'm sure it's a fair amount. Yeah, Diddy's probably been getting pussy for 20 years. And, he's a perfect example of a guy who probably couldn't get it up with just one girl. So, hey, let's get 5 girls in here and 2 dudes and let's turn the lights off. Um, what up, J Laws? I mean, I may have in my testosterone prime had 3 in one day once. But it was literally the numbers just didn't add up. 365 days a year. So even if you're fucking a different girl every day, to get to 20,000 would take you, like 15 years. So, okay, well, let's do 2 girls a day. And it was like, that would be 10 years. And then, okay, 3 girls. So, given the time frame we were talking about with Wilt Chamberlain, 20,000 girls, it would have taken 4 a day for literally like 5 straight years every day. So, okay, well, I'll let you guys work that out between you and Frank AC/DC. You know me, I don't like the drama in here, but you guys can work it out on your own. I wish I was Bruce Banner. You think Bruce Banner would only have 25 people in his stream? Come on now. Smokey, we don't do that kind of language in here. Oh shit, I don't do this for anyone, but I will do it for Felicia, sorry. All Dabbleverse questions are on the table now that we have a true all-star in the stream. Earl, great live cast. Yeah, it's just fun. We're just fucking around in here. I give Tony credit for taking the gay jokes in stride. When you have a monogrammed belt with your initials on it, people are going to think you're gay. Now, I don't know if Tony's gay or not. I've never seen him with a dude. I knew his wife. I've known most of his girlfriends. So I don't think he's gay. And you know what? If he is, I don't care. So, yeah, you guys can argue in the Frank and AC/DC. Let's just keep it relatively clean. I understand this is the internet and not everyone can get along. We got Felicia in here. We got Flat Cat. We got some heavy hitters in here. So we'll go, maybe another 10 minutes, guys. This is my second stream of the day. I can't do the 3 to 5 to 6 hour streams. So you're going to have to go to other people who do that. I respect the ones who do it. I can't do it. But I also don't snipe people. Yeah, like I said, Felicia, I always want to say Felicia. I've never, I think because, the way Tony presents himself, it's got gay undertones. But, I've had people tell me I'm gay because I wear skin-tight leather pants. So, because I have custom jackets and whatnot. How much rain did you guys get? It was on and off. I mean, I would say the last 3 days we probably got about 2 to 4 inches. And I think it's supposed to rain past Tuesday, from what they say, but I don't know. I love old Art Bell shows. I mean, Art Bell was a troll. I remember the one caller. Yeah, I think Al Qaeda shot the space shuttle out with a laser beam, and Art Bell was like, "Yeah, I think so too." Um, so, welcome everyone. Welcome. Art Bell was the goat. I feel bad for George Norrie because he's not Art Bell. It's like when Carolla took over for Stern. It'll be like when I take over for Kevin Brennan. Hey, see, there's a little Dabbleverse joke right there. Um, and it's always tough for the replacement. It's like I see it with bookers in LA all the time. The popular booker leaves and the next booker comes in, and they're just not that old booker, so they get criticized more than they should. So, by the way, I'll be at the Comedy Store next Saturday night at midnight or a little later because everyone runs the fucking light. But your mama made a delicious meal last night and she let me do it in the back. Well, Hot Shower Harry, my mom's been dead for 30 plus years, so you must have me mistaken for Ray DeVito. Hello, see what I'm saying? That's a little Dabbleverse joke just to keep your guys' attention. I don't get the mom jokes in here, but you know what? AC/DC don't fuck around when someone jokes about Earl's mama. Someone did that in the last stream. Well, I don't think George Norrie is boring. He's not Art Bell. It's like when, now this is a real deep reference that no one in the stream is going to get, maybe outside of Josh. Or TB, but I don't think TB's in here right now. When the Wally George sidekick David Kennedy left, they tried a few other sidekicks. It just didn't work. Like David Kennedy was the perfect straight man to Wally George. The replacement's never as good. I mean, Ace Frehley, awesome. Vinnie Vincent comes in, technically a better guitar player than Ace, 100 times a better guitar player than Ace, technically, but he was an Ace. Yes, Pahrump, Nevada. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just, I mean, like to me, Batman is Michael Keaton. There's never been, I mean, George Clooney's a great actor. He looks like he could be a suave, bachelor in the Batman mode, but Michael Keaton just was my Batman. Yeah, Wally George was like the OG Sean Hannity, but David Kennedy set him up with so many fucking funny one-liners. And they tried some other people, it just didn't work. They weren't no David Kennedy. So we'll go about another 5 minutes, guys. Yeah, Big Black knows what's up. So, I mean, we got Felicia and Big Black in there. I mean, this place should be wall-to-wall Dabbleverse right now. You guys are slipping. By the way, I don't have a confidence in the new cast of Vanderpump Rules. The main bitch was in the front row last night at the Comedy Store, and I tried to play with her a little bit. Not a great personality. So she ain't no Stassi. Hey, cutie, can we exchange numbers? I think you're a dude, so no, we may not. But I appreciate it. I'm not Vince Neil. I haven't run out of pussy yet. But thank you. I appreciate the offer. I think a lot of us are dabbled out. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new characters coming into the scene. Was it Tommy Jordan? Mersh is certainly in the news a lot lately, but I don't know. I mean, I listen to MLC every now and then. Yes, I am on a good one. But yeah, puck to the face, and he'll probably play the next game. Dwight Howard would be out with a sprained earlobe. So yeah, I mean the Dabbleverse is in an interesting era right now. You know, they're bringing in a lot of new characters, but they ain't like the old characters. It's like Vanderpump Rules. Nothing beats the OG cast. You know, Felicia, I'm probably not going to watch it. Um, I mean, I love Eddie Murphy, but I don't love him enough to watch the documentary. I'd rather watch Tulsa King, which is probably why I only have 27 people in my stream right now. But you know, I don't want to watch comedy. I want to do it. You know, so I'm weird like that. You know, like I don't think Tom Brady. Well, I mean, he watches football because he's an analyst, but uh, you know, I don't think Tom Brady is. I'm not comparing myself to Tom Brady in the comedy world. I'm just saying Tom Brady strikes me as when he's not working, he doesn't watch football because he probably still wants to do it. Um, is Karmic your Tulsa King? It's a good show. I'm a Stallone guy, so yeah. I mean, I love Eddie Murphy. I mean, he put a Rat song on the soundtrack, "The Golden Child." So body talk, I think it was body talk. I hear your body talk when you're next to me. Spread it out. You don't. What am I, Karmic? You don't know what you're thinking. Um, I just Landman new season I think came out yesterday. No, I guess Friday. Everything's released on Fridays now. So I'll watch maybe an episode of that before I go to sleep. But since you know, like me and Felicia's just different than me. Like you know, we're both comics, but when I'm off stage, I don't want to watch comedy. We do it. I live it. So it's just one of those things that I'd rather watch Tulsa King. Just forget about comedy for an hour or two. If I watch the Eddie Murphy documentary, then I'll like, hey man, I should write some jokes right now, or I'll think about my set from last night. What could I have done differently? Like I just want to, my mind, I want it to be empty for the next few hours. How about? Oh, okay, sorry, I already saw that. So, but I hear it's good. I mean, did you like it, Felicia? You know, I'd rather watch a documentary on the Wonderland murders. You know, because then I could dream about how I'm going to kill a few comics I don't like. You ever met Billy Bob? No, I don't think I have. But I'm excited about this season of Landman. No, she ain't supposedly a legend. Like she's one of the and a funny comic too. I mean the clips I've seen of you doing stand up, I think you're really funny. So um, I mean, you don't work as much as Felicia does if you're not funny. Well, that's not true. William Montgomery works a lot. Hey, oh, see what I did there? I did a little joke there for you guys. I never understood why all comics say they don't listen to other stand-up. Rock stars say they don't listen to other music either. Well, but I'm being truthful, ACDC. I don't want to watch something I want to do. So, even though I'm a huge fan of Eddie Murphy, I'd rather watch Miami Vice. Tater tots? I guess they're all right. You know, and that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. You think maybe I could learn if I watched Richard Pryor's special and maybe I picked up on a technique or a joke structure thing. You know, like I did an hour last night at the Comedy Store, so tonight I want to watch Tulsa King. But you know, I'm not saying how I um, navigate life is correct. It's just how I do it. Um, so there you go. I mean, yeah, that's an interesting question. ACDC, do you watch cop shows? Like, would you watch Blind Justice? You know, that's. See, I would think a cop couldn't watch cop shows because he'd be too critical and be like, well, that would never happen. I saw Sling Blade a long time ago. Like, I have friends of mine who are in motorcycle clubs, and I asked them, was it hard for you to watch Sons of Anarchy and the Mayans? And they all said, yeah, because we knew what would really happen versus what was happening on the screen. So we weren't, um, we were kind of bored because we could tell what they were going to say before they said it. Well, he got famous fast. I mean, that's the thing. Like Rob Schneider got famous pretty fast. Most people don't know Rob started out as a stand-up. Started out in the Holy City Zoo in Frisco with, Dana Carvey and Larry Bubbles Brown and some of the great Bay Area comics. And then he got SNL. And it's like, why the hell would you want to go to the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville when you have Deuce Bigelow in theaters? I loved Blind Justice. Every time I see Frank Grillo, um, who's he's in Tulsa King actually, and the Purge movies, and he's like probably the most in demand. I don't want to say he's a character actor, but because that's kind of insulting, but he's probably one of the more in demand actors right now. Every time I see him, because he must live around here, I see him all the time. I say, hey, I love you in Tulsa King, but I really like Blind Justice, and he kind of laughs. Um, yeah, 100%. I would agree with that, Big Black. Yeah, I mean, but he got famous so fast that he stopped doing stand up for like 17 years. Because, like people don't understand it. Like, he was making millions doing films. Why the hell would you go to, Uncle Vinny's for the weekend and make $10,000 when you could, I don't know, do a commercial for Allstate for, $500,000? Um, Yeah, I mean, I have a friend of mine who started out as a New York City beat cop in the Bronx, and then he worked his way up to federal judge, and he loves watching cop shows. So, everyone's different. It's just like me with comedy. It's hard for me to watch, like the Eddie Murphy documentary because it'll get me going. I wish I was up right now. It's like why I don't watch Kill Tony is. I guess you would say I'm a roast comic, if you will. So, um, you know, that's why I don't watch. I've never watched one of my roast battles on television. You'd think I would like jack off to them. To be on Comedy Central 5 nights and 6 days is probably the best accomplishment I've ever achieved in my comedy life. But I don't. I was there. I don't want to watch it. I watched one episode of The Jellies. In 3 seasons, I watched one episode, and that was the one where my daughter becomes a stripper. And I was like the featured part of that particular episode. Other than that, you'd think I'd watch the cartoon on loop, bring a girl over and go, hey, do you want to fuck Barry Jelly? Um, so, Chappelle stole the Nutty Professor. Did he really? I don't know about that. What do you mean, Big Black? Guys, we'll go to the 90-minute mark. So we'll do another 17 minutes. I thank you guys. We got some very cool people in the stream. All follow each other. Big Black, follow Felicia. Felicia, follow whoever you'd like to. Say hello to Karmic. I don't know if you guys are together right now. I can't keep up with everyone's whereabouts. I see what you're saying. Oh, interesting. Could you make me a heavy silver necklace, flat cap? Of course, I'll pay for it. I love wearing silver. I don't really wear gold. I'm all about the performance. I'm not a great comic. I'm a great performer. I was hoping for maybe the Yonder Wizard bump. Right around this time, he usually ends his stream. And we get the bump. I think the last time we had like 1,600 people in here. Like it was wild to go from like 20 people. All of a sudden, I look up and there's 1,600 people in here. I've never been invited to a Diddy party. I've been to the Playboy Mansion twice, and wowzers, it didn't suck. I'll just say that. I mean, the Halloween party, the first person I saw when I walked into the Halloween party was Vince Neil. I'm like, this is a good party. Fuck yes. And then the first time I snuck into the Playboy Mansion was the lingerie party. Now, they hadn't had a lingerie party in 6 years because Hefner was married. And I think the wife was like, you ain't doing that shit when I'm in the house. They get divorced, and this was the toughest party in the world to get into. And me and my buddy got into it, and wowzers. Barbie Benton was hot. Missy Hyatt. Are you from the NWA ring announcer? Missy Hyatt? She was hot. She used to sit next to me at King games because she was dating the Wonder Years kid, Jason Hervey. So it was her and Jason Hervey and Ricky Rackman. What a real group. I got to say, my favorite playmate of all time is Petra Verkijk. Not the most popular, but wow, what a set of knockers. Natural too. I've been in the grotto. I just put my feet in there. I was not going anywhere near that water with my mouth. I mean, to be in a body of water where Hefner and his friends were dumping loads for 30 years, no thank you. Sunshine was prettiest. I don't know who Sunshine is. Are you really Missy Hyatt? What if Missy Hyatt was in here? I'd ask her, did you really fuck Jim Ross? Not Jeff Ross, Jim Ross. Oh my God, my friend was so excited, the one I snuck in there with, that he just took off all his clothes and jumped head first into the grotto. I'm like, ugh. I remember when he did it, Scott Baio taps me on the shoulder and goes, that's disgusting. I'm like, you're right, Chachi. And he kind of laughed. The grotto was nasty. I didn't fuck anyone that night, but I made out with a girl I told I was the guitar player in Kiss. Hayat. There's not enough salt in the world to get rid of the loads that have been dumped in that pool, from James Caan to Shabadoo Quinones to whoever. This is a saltwater pool. Get the fuck out of here. You could put salt, chlorine, and Gino Visconti's bath water. See, I just threw a little Earlverse in there for you just to keep your attention. I mean, Jack Nicholson, every Laker, every King. I mean, the King, I know a lot of King players who went there too. Yowza. Scott Baio, Willie Ames, all good, Jenna, all good. We're about to end the stream anyway, so the girl never asked me my name. I just said I'm the new guitar player in Kiss. And would me or Felicia open up for Dalia at the Laugh Factory? I'll answer for myself. Nope. It's just too much. Just too much baggage there. And I was friends with him. Comedy friends. I think he only has female openers now. So, I mean, he still sells out theaters. So, that's the crazy thing, That's the wild thing about, comedy. You can be accused of what he's accused of. Some of it's on tape. And, if you can make a theater money, they will play you, baby doll. So, it's kind of discouraging. But, Dalia one night in the hallway, he just walked up to me and goes, I'll never forget it. He just whispered to me, how do you get better looking by the week? I thought he wanted to fuck me or something. And no, I wouldn't have. I mean, we were always cool to each other. We did open mics together, and that's the one thing I'll give him credit for, just talking about his comedy. He had a great work ethic in the comedy. He was at open mics and would wait, and he wouldn't ask to be bumped. And he was king of the ring he was the king of LA comedy. And then, what happened. And I'll never forget, I remember me and my ex were watching Dexter. It was on a Sunday night. And I checked Twitter, and it said Chris D'Elia 2,000 mentions. You know how it gives your mentions, your name, and then if you're trending. And then, oh, he must have a new movie coming out. And it was a two-part episode of Dexter. So that was about 10 minutes into Dexter. End of the episode happens. Let's take a pee break. I look at Twitter. Chris D'Elia, 15,900 tweets. Oh, wow, this movie must be real. It must have some real heat behind it. And then the second episode ends, and I look, and it was Chris D'Elia, 59,000 tweets. I'm like, man, this movie must be fucking amazing, or TV show. And then, of course, it was all about the allegations and whatnot. So, yeah, Tripoli and Metzger, they've figured out the podcasting game. I mean, Tripoli's killing it, man. We'll go another 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. I mean, Tripoli is someone who was probably struggling a few years ago, and he found his niche with the conspiracy stuff. And, I don't mind people who work hard, and, that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, certainly, I don't think I've found my niche with 17 people in here, but yes, Lois is Big Black. He knows what time was. Let me show you guys a shot of Lois. She's probably just waking up. Yeah. Look at that baby. She knows we're talking about her, too. Look at that baby. I don't know what Tripoli does with Callan. I think he does. She's sleeping right now. All right, spit it out. I don't know what you're thinking. So, yeah, I'm not sure, SC. I don't keep up with that fucking scumbag. I mean, I don't think I'm a threat to the YouTube algorithm system, but, I'll crack this fucking system. Trust me on that one. That is the Wizard of Oz, dog. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason Brian Callen moved to Austin. You're not a successful actor and you moved to Austin. So you guys put two and two together, brother. Yeah, I mean, I have no interest in palling around with him. I got a fucking soul. I have a moral compass. And, listen, if that's the kind of comic you want there, have at it. Time flew by once again, Major Earl. Thank you, Major JJ. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't understand it, but it's not my place to understand it. I mean, the mothership will survive without me, but you know what? I'll survive without it. Would I like to? Ryan O'Neal goes there every 2 weeks. Frank Castillo goes there every 2 weeks. You got guys renting apartments there so they can do what O'Neal and Frank are doing. So I'm good. And it's been weird with me and Adam ever since, Jeff Ross had me pulled off the Adam Egget roast. It's just been awkward. So listen, it's fine. You want to take Jeff Ross's side over mine? Have at it. Yeah, Ryan O'Neal, not the actor. Ryan O'Neal, the comic. Well, his new special didn't do well, but it's like he's in with Rogan. So if you're in with Rogan, I think Austin's a great place. You're gonna get spots every night at the mothership. You go to Red Bands Club, get spots there. You can go to there's another club like Feng Chao, who used to be a Comedy Store door guy. He's killing it in Austin, where in LA he couldn't get spots. So everyone's different. Everyone has a different path. Fuck yeah, get it, Josh, get it. Who's to say what I'm doing is the right path? I mean, 25 years into comedy, I'm doing a stream to 25 people. That ain't good numbers, but you know what? I have a good time in here. So we'll go another 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. Everyone follow each other. Everyone watch it. Everyone's videos and whatnot. So Yeah, you're probably right there. I mean, if you don't think Rogan has a significant say in who gets on at the mothership, Adam's just the messenger. But I'm sure Adam with the younger comics, like a Feng Chao. I mean, I'm sure Rogan didn't know who Feng Chao was, and Adam puts him up. I mean, I know my one friend Ty Rivera. He was getting spots, and I don't think Joe knew who he was. That's not a shot at Ty. It's just So I think Adam probably handles the younger comics, and Joe is probably like, hey, put Callan up whenever he wants. So what up, Blue Velvet? Yo 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 yo. By the way, I'm excited. Sam Elliott's on this season of Landman, and Sam Elliott's like he's basically like Gene Hackman. He's good in everything, so I'm excited. So yeah, everyone's on their own path. Who the hell's to say what I'm doing is correct? Ryan O'Neill, you say I've been waiting to hear of him and Jed. Dana's killed with his impression of Dice joking with Eleanor on the Comedy Store podcast. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can be expecting any videos with O'Neill and Danish anytime soon. They had a falling out. I'm still not sure what it's about. I got enough drama in my life, so I don't get involved with other people's drama, and it's unfortunate. Two of the funniest dudes in LA, but Jeff moved out of LA, so O'Neill's doing his own thing. So I have not watched your Ace Frehley videos, but I will. Well, what up, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap? Is Michael Keaton funny? I just know him from Batman and Jack Frost. I mean, he was back in the day, great actor, Comedy Store paid regular. But, once again, it's the Rob Schneider thing where he got famous pretty fast after he started stand-up with Mr. Mom, and then he's literally been a working actor for 42 years. So do you really want to go to the Comedy Store and make $50 when you just made $3 or $4 million on a film? Probably not. But, some people are fucking, Russell Peters still does the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory. I mean, he makes millions a year doing stand-up. So, some people love it. Some people use it as a means to an end. So, who the hell knows, All right, 2 more minutes, guys. We're at the 2-minute warning of the Earlverse stream. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. I love you all. I love the trolls. We are not getting the Yonder Wizard bump, unfortunately. I can't even argue with that, Tony. We're talking about I'm ending the stream in 2 minutes, MSK 913. So hit the like and subscribe button and come back when we do another full stream tomorrow. How does Russell Peters do that travel schedule? Seems brutal. Well, when you get paid what Russell gets paid, you'll make allowances. Like, I would go to the Far East to do, not the Middle East, I'd do the Far East if I was getting paid, to play a theater. Or an arena is what Russell plays. I mean, a theater to Russell is like, I don't think so. But I was just offered a gig last night at the Comedy Store. Would I come to the Fox Theater in Visalia, California? And I looked it up, and I mean, that's a funny roast joke, MSK913. See, I can appreciate a good zinger. I could see Pluto from here. Hello! Just met you. I'm a comedy fangirl. Can you ask your opinion on the hate of the mothership? Can I ask you your opinion on the hate on the mothership? Well, once again, when you get paid what he gets paid, you can buy some energy drinks. Jody Kuhn. I mean, I just think there's a lot of comics at the mothership who just rub people the wrong way. I mean, Hinchcliffe, Jeff Dye, Brian Callen. It's a cult. It's very. Maybe I shouldn't say it's a cult. It's cliquey. I had this conversation last night. I mean, the Comedy Store is cliquey. So I think, and it's most of the clique are dudes. So, I mean, Roast Battle was cliquey. Kill Tony is cliquey. And, I mean, I was treated very well at the mothership. So a lot of people are like, well, you say that, but you've never been back since. if I could work out a week where I say be a panelist on Kill Tony and could get on some hot Austin shows, I got to make money, man. I'm not flying to Austin to lose money to do the mothership. Those days are over for me of losing money doing shows. So, because the voiceover world has really spoiled me, um, you know, but, I think, like Jeff Dye did that GoFundMe for I'm moving to Austin. And it was kind of a joke. He was just expecting a couple rich, Republican friends to fund his trip to Austin. And then he got a lot of shit for it. So he took the GoFundMe down. That's going to rub people the wrong way. How Tony acts sometimes to people, he rubs people the wrong way. But he's juiced in with Rogan. So no one's going to really take him on. The only people that take him on are Jeselnik and Burr. And they're probably the only two in a position to do that. I don't think there's an LA beef. See, MS913, you're trolling me, but you're funny. I don't even know who Jimmy Neutron is, but I'm assuming he's a good-looking guy with a big dick. Yeah, the Comedy Store is clicky. Don't get me wrong. It's very tough to become a paid regular there. So paid regulars like me are very like, hey, you got to earn your stripes up here before we hang. It's a gang, basically. Maron's a guy who, you can just tell him and Rogan aren't friends. And so, but Maron is one of the few comics who could speak out about Joe and not have it directly affect him. It will make the roast much funnier. Well, I can't roast you, bro, because I don't know what you look like. I don't know anything about you. So you have the advantage. That's why I don't roast in the stream. Like I don't know who you guys are. I don't see a picture of you guys. So Bill Burr is Billy Corrigan's brother. I don't think so. I don't know what you're talking about, Big Black. You must be smoking that weed. So Jody, well, yeah, but I don't see a picture in your profile. So yeah, you can roast me, but you know what? I will look up Jimmy Neutron. No, my phone's about to die, so let me do this fast. I don't have an Adam Henniker, so Jimmy Neutron. Let's see, images. You know what? I'm sorry about that. See, thank you, SC. MSK913, he's coming in hot. But he's funny. I can take a joke. What didn't I hear about Big Black? Hold on. Now, hold on, we're going to try something here. William Zoom told me that I could charge my phone from my iMac. So let's try this. Otherwise, I have to end the stream. Hold on. Well, we're going mobile now. Let's see if this works. Oh, shit. We can charge. So here we go. We don't have to end the stream. Thank you, William Zoom, for telling me that. Hold on, let's fix this a little bit. Sorry. Okay, well now, see, that's great to know. Um, Vern Corrigan related. Tony said Marin thinks he's the gatekeeper of comedy. He decides. Oh, Marin. Yeah, I mean, Tony's probably right in that regard. Oh, well, that's all right. I can take a good joke, Jody. Well, I don't know if I'm the coolest, but, I try and be. I'd be funny if Earl got a VO gig on that cartoon. Now, you never know. I mean, listen, MS is kind of correct. I mean, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. Man, I don't know what's happening here. So we're just going to leave the stream on this for a second. Well, I don't know if saying I look like Jimmy Neutron's a compliment, to be honest with you. But, well, Buddhist priest, I'll act how I want to act in my stream. Yeah, I do have a big nose. There's no doubt about that. I mean, if I did cocaine, I'd probably sniff up half of Colombia in one toot. So there you go. So let's put it out there in the universe. No, I'm just see. I'm going to say your name because you're a good egg in here. Mike Roch, get it? Mike Crotch, Mike Roch. That's all right. A good roast doesn't have to be completely accurate. See, that's why I love my stream. We only got like 30 people in here, but I swear to God, I mean this. I would rather have 30 people in this stream and everyone be cool than have to deal with all the bullshit of some of the other streams to get big numbers. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love it if there were 1,000 people in here, but you know what? They're not. So I'll just have to, I'm doing my stream as I'm doing it. I'm sure I'd have a lot more people in here if I talked about Stuttering John. I just can't. I can't do it. And no, we're not doing a Matt Mead stream. We don't do that talking here. Yeah, we be chilling in the Earlverse. And plus, Lois is quiet, so I've got to take advantage of her quietness right now. So now that I know I can charge my phone from my iMac, we can go a little longer. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys. I know it's Monday morning. And, we're just a happy-go-lucky bunch in here. Yeah, we don't do dark jokes in here. Instagram it to me, Jody Kuhn. Are you related to Bowie? Hey, that's a baseball joke for you old schoolers in the house. No, you'll allow it. You do it on your stream. We don't do the dark jokes in here. Well, I appreciate you, JJ. I mean, listen, this stream, I couldn't do the stream without you guys. So, Jody, I don't want my channel struck. So, go to Pat Dixon's stream and do the joke, and we'll shout. We'll get him shadow banned. I mean, I got banned from Bumble. For showing my dick pic as my profile picture. So, I mean, we got to be cool. We got to be cool. I don't know. I don't listen to Tiger Belly, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I know that is a creepy move. I went for it. I mean, let's be honest. Everyone's on Bumble to get laid. So I thought, why not just get cut right to the chase, baby doll? So, all right, Judy, you're talking a big game. Let's see the joke. As long as it doesn't have the N word in it. Let's see what you got, kid. I mean, this is Kill Earl right now. Let's see what you got, baby doll. AC/DC is the mod in charge right now. Buddhist priest, don't give me advice on women, but I'll take your advice. Yeah, I mean, I don't do very well on Bumble, or I didn't do. I did okay on Tinder. I mean, I swiped right so many times, my right thumb fell off. I had to get it surgically reattached. So, I took a shot. You take shots in life. You take shots in comedy. And, I took a swing and I missed. But that's okay. Hey, hit the like and subscribe button. Yes, I know ACDC's. He doesn't fuck around in here. Um, we're just a family friendly stream. So I trust you guys. We're all friends at this point. I mean, a lot of people are striking out in the stream, but that's all right. You take a day. You get your swings in, and then you come back tomorrow. I don't know. You'll probably have to ask. I don't know how you would. Well, if you unsubscribe, that means you subscribe. So I'll take a brief bump in subscriptions, and I'll see if I can last to the 2 hour mark. I don't usually do 2 hour streams, but you guys are giving me the energy. Yeah, well, I don't know if they're better than Laurel and Hardy, but it's a different era, different generation. So you might convince some people that Cheech and Chong are better than Laurel and Hardy, Amos and Andy, Tom Dreesen and Tim Reed is a often overlooked comedy duo. Okay, here we go. Why doesn't Mexico have a Olympic team? They already perfected how to run, jump, and climb. They don't need a team, just maybe some ice. Hey, I mean, it's all right. Jody, there's a big buildup for that, but not the worst, not the best. Yeah. Oh, of course, that's a fact. Jack, Bill, and Ted. I mean, that's like Ari Shafir's wall joke a little bit. You better watch out. Rogan may come after you. So yeah, that is an old joke. I thought it would be an original joke, Jody. So if this was Kill Earl, I'm gonna have to. If I had a sound effect, I would play it right now. What's with you and Rogan? Me and Rogan are good. Nothing wrong with me and Rogan. I was just making the reference of Carlos Mencia did Ari Shafir's joke, which is very similar to Kuhn's joke. So, I've never met Doogie Howser. So, me and Joe are good. He treated me very well when I was at the mothership. So, well, because I was asked about the mothership. So, you kind of have to talk about Joe when you're asked about the mothership. It's his club. And then Jody did not necessarily a stolen joke, but it's similar to Ari Shafir's joke. So the mothership is Joe Rogan's club in Austin, Texas. I mean, I did a nice joke last night that did quite well. I said, I went out to dinner the other night. I asked my waiter for a water with ice, and I never saw him again. Hey-o! Hey-o! So there you go. So, see, I made MSK913 laughed. Does that have a meaning? That's a weird group. It looks like a license plate. Hey, let's roast. Powder Girl in the house. So we do have some women in the stream. Breaking news. There are women in the Earlverse. I believe Felicia has left us, but it was good to have her in. You ever do the Ice House? I did it a couple times after the new ownership change. I didn't really like it. The Ice House is a great club in Pasadena, but Bob Fisher was the original owner, 30, 40 years, whatever. And it just was a classy club, very easy room. I mean, it's virtually bomb-proof. I mean, William Montgomery would do well there. That set he did in Austin would have done well in the main room at the Ice House. And see, I do topical humor, and yeah, it's an Earl original as well. So Bob Fisher sold it to, I think, the Bus family or Jim Bus, and it when Bob Fisher owned it, it was a lot of Hispanics would go there and a lot of white people. And now it's a very urban club. It's weird. Like there's a security guard in the main room and he has a gun. Like it's weird. And it's a weird energy when the crowd looks over and there's a guy with a gun in the room. I mean, the last time I was there, I was opening up for Craig Robinson, and Craig's awesome. He's a great guy. But, you know, it's very urban. Like, it's so different from the Ice House I grew up going to. And, the new booker there, I don't think is a fan of mine. I've known him for like 10 years. He's worked around the city in different clubs and capacities, festivals and whatnot. He's never booked me once. So it's like, okay, that's fine. So, you know, yeah, Craig's really cool. So I get along with Craig very well. He's very, very friendly. And a really funny comic. I mean, he does the music shit. Like he'll sing, he'll do the Aha song "Take on Me" on the keyboards, and the crowd eats it up. He would be a very hard guy to follow. But I mean, it's just weird. It's a weird dynamic. Like the last show I did, opening up for Craig, there was a really obnoxious heckler, and I was giving it to him pretty good, and I was in total control of this guy. I mean, I was doing so well at one point. Yeah, I loved doing Holtzman's podcast. That all the staff from the other areas of the club were coming in to watch because they didn't know who I was. But you could tell they were like, "Who is this guy? He should play here more often or whatever." And so I'm just nailing this guy in the front row, and he's still doing it. And I'm just hitting him harder with each heckle. And then the guy with the gun, the security guard, starts to walk over to the guy to tell him to shut up. So, he's trying to help me. But, I got it under control. Daddy got it under control, baby. And I'm like, no, we're good, bro. I can handle it. So, you were doing so well, you forgot what you were saying. I don't think I did forget what I was saying. MSK 913. Is this an ex-girlfriend coming in my stream trying to fuck with me? We'll do a 2-hour stream, a rare 2-hour stream, so another 12 minutes. So let me take my final sip of this. I've had many girlfriends, even one fiance. So, yes, I have. I am currently single, though, unfortunately. And that's just the way it works. It's better to have lost a love than never loved at all. It's an old Poison song. I won't forget you, baby. I won't forget you, even though I should. You know what I'm saying? It's insane that I had a girlfriend. Why would you say that? I'm a good-looking guy with a big dick, a couple bucks in the bank. It's not insane. 100%. Well, I don't have a basement here, so unfortunately, I can't keep them in the basement. So, MSK 913, I like your style, man. At first, I wasn't sure about you, but, I kind of I like the cut of your jibby. Whoa, Jody coming in hot. Maybe we can have a roast battle between Jody and MSK 913. Let's roast. No, we don't do the Zoom roast battles in here. No, we don't. But thank you guys for tuning in. We got 10 minutes exactly. And that's legit. There will be no more Earlverse tonight in 10 minutes. Buddhist Priest, that's like a joke so old. Like, come on, man. You can do better than that. Uh-oh. I mean, I've got a few. Actually, I only have one vengeful ex-girlfriend. Well, two. I would say two. And you know what? They found out that I'm a hard guy to go up against because I don't have to say a word. Everyone loves me. Um, so, no, but I mean, like, I usually, um, I talk to like 98% of my ex-girlfriends. And now, when I say I talked to the first girl I ever slept with. That's 1989. Now, she's married with three kids and is a doctor, so we don't talk a lot. I probably haven't spoken to her in 5 years. But we watch each other's stories and all that. And even with the two girlfriends that were vengeful or whatever you want to call it toward me, I tried to make amends, even though I didn't think I should have. Uh, Especially with the last one, I thought, okay, it's pretty 50-50 here in terms of the failure of the relationship. But you know, you badmouth Earl in the LA comedy scene. Um, well, I speak the truth. MSK 913. I speak the truth. Um, in the LA comedy scene, I'm really well liked. So if you're going to sit there and say Earl's a piece of shit or Earl's this or Earl's that, virtually no one's going to be on your side. And I think the last two ex-girlfriends have found that out. So I'm certainly not perfect by any stretch, but I'm not desperate at all. It's my stream, baby doll. I'll talk how I want to talk. I mean, I'm kidding, bro. I'm just doing shtick. It's 2:38 in the morning. I'm just trying to entertain you guys. Uh, but what does that have to do with anything? Um, so no one knows me. Okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? So I never said I was. MSK 913. Never said I was famous. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Oh, you didn't have to do that, AC/DC. I mean, I don't know. I mean, all of a sudden it took a turn. I'm joking about having a big dick. I'm doing like a wrestling promo, so you guys will fucking stay the next 10 minutes. I mean, I'm not sniping anyone's channel. I'm not, you think it's easy to talk for 2 straight hours? I'm just doing shtick. And all of a sudden he's like, well, you're not famous. I never said I was famous. You know? Like, I don't know how it turned. Like, we're getting along. He's roasting me. I'm giving him a little shit. He's roasting Jody. And then all of a sudden, well, you're not famous. Nobody knows who you are. I never said they did. I would give you $100, MSK 913, when you come back, if you can roll the tape and show me where I said I was famous. Uh-oh, Jody getting in a rebuttal to the roast jokes. Nobody knows anyone in my stream, myself included. Can we see you instead of Jimmy Neutron? Yeah, my bad. All right. So we got 5 more minutes, kids. 5 more minutes. And then we will end the stream. And we'll stream tomorrow night at some point. Maybe during the Kings Capitals game. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely put in the hours. You can't, you can accuse me of a lot of things, but not putting in the work ain't one of them. It's just funny to me sometimes. Like, where I was getting along, I'm assuming that's a dude, MSK 913, and we're fucking around with each other. We're having a good time, and then he's like, "Well, you're not famous." Like, where did that come from? But listen, you can't, you can't please everyone in a stream. Hey, hit the like and subscribe button, please. I appreciate appreciate the support, the love, and all that good stuff. I'm just a humble comic. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. Um, you know. Thank you, JJ. I mean, listen, Tim Dillon told me all I need, JJ, is 2,000 people like you. If I can get 2,000 fans to buy whatever shit I'm selling, and I don't mean the merchandise, but I mean my shtick, without selling out, talking about the fucking Dabbleverse or, I don't know, Chad's latest feud. And, I'm trying. Am I tempted sometimes to do that to get better numbers? Absolutely, I am. But you know what? I'll just do it how I do it. And, MSK 913, come on back, baby. Come on back. So, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm a 57-year-old unknown comic. I'm trying any and all angles. So, well, I mean, it's like you get 2,000 fans. I see what Tim Dillon was saying. You get those people to either watch your streams or join your Patreon or whatever, and you can make a nice living in this business. Well, I know what you're saying about the Discord, but I've been doing some research, man. I mean, this is enough interaction for me, Buddhist priest, to be honest with you. Because the Discord, I jumped into a few Discords on the DL. It's all fucking trolls, man, and I don't want that, man. Like I said, if my age comes into play in any factor, it's I don't mind a troll here and there, but like fuck that. I've been in Melton's discourse. I've been in a few other Dabbleverse related discourses. I'm good. Well, I'm assuming that's an insult, but hey, fuck it. With 3 minutes left in the stream, I'll take it. Let's get to 40 likes, you maniacs. I don't ask you guys for much. I'll be at the Comedy Store next Saturday night, midnight. Come on down. Even the trolls come on down. No, I'm just kidding around, dude. See, I kid around in here too. What was your first pop? I don't know what that means. You mean, I don't know what that means, Jody. So you've got 2 more minutes to explain what that means. Because I'm starting to power down. It is 2:44 in the morning. Earl Skakel will be hired. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the Rainbow, the Roxy. I mean, I've had some fun in my 57 years on planet Earth. You got to remember, I was a club kid in the 80s, so Daddy had a good time. So, pop. You mean like so? My first, probably Coke. My mom was an original investor in Coke, so we had literally in our home a full refrigerator for Coke only. So, I've hung out at Dantana's. I'll be at Dantana's this week with a select group of friends. 3 dudes. I'm not taking a call right now, bro. It's 3 in the morning. I'm going to bed. I put in enough work today, but let's talk, later about it. I'm done dealing with trolls. My PCL experience was like, fuck that. No offense, but I'm just trying to build my fucking channel, man. So obviously I'm going to do the Hi-Fi Protege. I'm going to be putting out more shorts. I mean, the last short I did pretty well. I think it was over 2,000 views, which is good for me. I mean, usually I average between 300 and 700 views. So, I'm doing my best. But I appreciate Buddhist Priest, as always, your insight and advice and feedback. I listen to everything you say. I watch everything you send me. So, I appreciate the fans or whatever you guys are to me, friends at this point. I appreciate the support, and, we'll make it together. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not afraid. Listen, I'm the hardest working comic in the world. No one works harder than me because you guys only see me do this for an hour or two. You know, I'm making phone calls. I'm trying to put deals together. Trying to get auditions. Trying to get on Gutfeld. Nobody works harder than me. Uh, but I also, I'm done with the trolls, man. I mean, I'll deal with a few of them on here because it's just part of the game. It's part of business. But I'm not going to then start a Discord and deal with that kind of trolls. I mean, Discords are basically Reddit pages in a chat. I fuck Reddit. Earl Skakel over now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably stream during the Capitals King game. And I'm not arguing with you. Like, I know your intention is to help me. So let's talk later, baby. Earl Skakel over now.